It's time for another update, so let's get out there and take a look. The corn is starting to tassel and produce silk, so they'll be forming ears pretty soon. The China jade cucumbers are really starting to climb well. We've got quite a few female flowers, so we're going to have quite a few cucumbers before it's too long. They're looking great. The bush beans are looking pretty good after being beaten up by the hail. They're getting blooms on them now, so we'll be getting some beans before too long. I'm just going to walk by the tomatoes. I did an update just on the tomatoes yesterday, so if you want to know more information about the tomatoes, I'll post a link to that video down in the description. As you can see, I've trimmed the bottom leaves off of most of my tomatoes, and we've got quite a few tomatoes on most of the plants. Not all of them, but you can see there's a bunch on some of them. And that one is the first one that's starting to blush, and it'll be the first one to get ripe. And this plant is the first one to set fruit. Anyway, the tomatoes are doing really well. I can't complain, even though they do have a little bit of hail damage on them. You can see the dings in that one. I grow the fennel mostly for the butterflies, the black swallowtail butterflies. This is one of their host plants, and the fennel's about close to 6 feet tall now. There's the string trellis I set up for the Armenian cucumber. That's just one plant. It's spread out over the entire string trellis. And I haven't noticed any cucumbers starting to form yet. We've got lots of male flowers, but I don't see any female flowers yet. And this other string trellis back here, I put some volunteer Malabar spinach on it, and it's just now starting to grow a little bit. It thrives in the heat. The rattlesnake pole beans are doing pretty well. 8 feet tall, well over 8 feet tall, because the bamboo goes to about 8 feet. And we have some beans starting to form. See that little bean there? So we'll be getting quite a few beans here pretty soon. And it sounds like I'm going to have to take a break because somebody's running their lawnmower. In the green stalk planter, I pulled the lettuce, harvested what was left, and the tomatoes, they kind of went downhill after the hailstorm, but we're still getting lots of fruit off of them. They look kind of ragged, but they're still producing. I stuck my finger down in the Kennebec grow bags, and they have potatoes in there. I'm not sure how many, but I could feel the potatoes with my finger. And we have the russet over here. Here's a pepper cross that I didn't do. It's got kind of some interesting looking peppers with some purple blush on them. But all 4 of these plants are from the same cross. You can see the difference in the peppers. We've been eating a few blueberries off this blueberry bush. We're not getting any more than just enough to snack on. There's that really dark Midwest midnight peach pepper starting to get ripe. But just about all the pepper plants are getting peppers on them now. Some of them are looking pretty good. There's that mutant. Carrots are doing great. I've thinned those multiple times. I put a little diatomaceous earth on this tomato to kind of protect one tomato on there that I'm wanting to make sure it doesn't get eaten by worms. Here's some more micros down here. We're getting lots of fruit. Some of them are dinged up pretty good from the hail, but we're still getting plenty. The banana's about 5 feet tall now. There's that sweet potato I started very, very late. Then we have some very, very late potatoes. Some Kennebec. I actually cut these at the same time as the other Kennebec potatoes and left them on my workbench in the garage, and they stayed good all that time. There's that fig and the garlic that I planted from bulbils. While I'm thinking and talking about bulbils, let's go look at some. Over the edge of the garden, over here by all these weeds, I have some garlic that I didn't harvest. This is hardneck garlic, and if you let hardneck garlic go and don't cut the scapes, it'll form little flower heads, and those will form what they call bulbils. Well, I don't think I can break any. These aren't loose yet, but once they have been on the plant for a while, those will actually start to loosen and fall to the ground and start to grow. You can see some of them actually have some green sprouts growing already on the plant. So those are wanting to grow already. You can save those bulbils and plant them anytime you want to. The ones I have in the pot over there, I planted this spring, but I harvested the bulbils last summer. I've harvested some peppers, some because I wanted to, and some because they were on the ground, and a couple of plants were just so overloaded with peppers that I wanted to harvest the peppers so we could get some more growth out of the plants. This is a Midwest candy sticks, one of the longer fruited ones. Then we have right over here another Midwest candy sticks. This is a shorter version, but as you can see, it's just covered with peppers. And I have another one that was just like this one, about a foot tall, with about a dozen peppers or more, and I harvested the peppers from it just so it could grow some more. I think it was putting everything it had into the fruit. Here's a cross between Jimmy Nardello and Courbaki. I have two of these growing. The other one tastes great. I haven't tasted this one yet, but like this one, the other one was just loaded with peppers, so I went ahead and harvested those because they were starting to get ripe anyway. This is a Midwest onyx candy. The peppers are very dark, and they ripen to red, and they're very sweet and taste pretty good when they ripen. This is a jalapeno. I saved seeds from one in the grocery store, and it was pretty good size, and it looks like this is going to be producing pretty good size jalapeno fruit. Some of you might remember that I really butchered the Swiss chard after the hailstorm because it was so shredded. And as you can see, they're starting to recover nicely and looking pretty good. There's a sunflower I had to stake up because of the wind knocked it down. I have another one over here, same way. This eggplant is a pink tone. There's one eggplant down at the bottom, if I can show you. I think you can see it through all the leaves. It's almost ready to pick. And while we're on the subject of eggplants, this is a real black eggplant. It's got some that are about halfway there, two of them down at the bottom, and there's some setting on towards the top that'll be coming on later. We also have some peppers in this raised bed. The strawberries I planted, they're starting to produce strawberries. These are Quinault Everbearing. That's why we have them so late. This is a Midwest Midnight Eclipse 2.0. I think it's just a great looking plant. The sweet potatoes are starting to trail over the side. I'm keeping them trimmed inside the raised bed so they won't smother out some of these small plants like this Laura number 5 micro tomato and some of these other micro tomatoes. This is Midwest Juanita. Look at that variegation. Has no peppers on it yet, but it will. This one over here is a Midwest Kansas Chaos. They have some pretty peppers on them, and the plant itself has some pretty neat variegation. I have another one over here, but it's kind of ragged looking. It had quite a few peppers on it. I went ahead and cut the peppers so this plant could try to recover. I think it was putting all this juice into the peppers. And this eggplant here is a Matoyo. It's just now starting to recover from the hail storm, and I think it'll be all right in a few weeks. There's that volunteer pumpkin. I don't know if it's gonna be able to do anything, but I'm gonna let it grow till it either makes pumpkins or the vine borers get it. Then back here by the fence, we've got some volunteer, I think they're cantaloupes. I'm not sure, but that's what they look like to me. We'll see if they have time to do anything. We've got several sunflowers back here by the pumpkins and the milkweed. Just starting to open, and there's the milkweed flower. Then we have one that's fully open here, and it's got a little crab spider that's been hanging out and getting some of the smaller pollinators, but I just kind of let nature do its thing. Let us know how your garden's doing, and if you're just now finding this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.